Hello and welcome to another edition of Video Games to the Max. I am your host, Sean Garmer. Here with me, as usual, Mr. Mark Morrison.
Howdy.
And well, Mark, how was your week?
It's all right. Beat Death Stranding too. I saw Superman. How about you?
I went to the beach, played some more Clair Obscur. We'll talk about that. And your Death Stranding 2 as well. The continuing fallout, literally and figuratively, of the Xbox layoffs continues with a report coming that multiple Fallout games are in development. We'll talk about that. Is that gonna save or make this look any better or worse a week later? What sales data may show about how, cementing essentially Xbox's new direction or direction in which they're going. PlayStation had a state of play for Ghost of Yotei. Some interesting things coming out of that. Are people focusing too much on whether sequels are sequels or they're not innovating enough? We'll talk about that too. Donkey Kong Bonanza hype as it comes out this week. And maybe there's a Donkey Kong movie too. So we'll talk about all of that and more right after this.
You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and get the housekeeping here out of the way so we can get on with the show. If this is your first time watching or listening, we do appreciate you. So you can watch us live on Mondays at 9 p.m. on the YouTube channel, W2 Network, or you can also just watch later on demand on YouTube as well. And you can also listen later on podcasts. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you get not only what we do here with the video games, but if you like movies, like Mark just mentioned, I'm pretty sure the Ride That You're Broadcasting folks are going to be doing their Superman movie review here very shortly. And, then you can go watch or listen to it later whenever you like. They do a great job of going in depth on what they liked about the movie, what they didn't, bringing in other stuff as well. So they definitely do a great job in reviewing those. Also, the anime side of Taku Cafe, they do a great job on their end. They just did their awards and top anime of the spring season as they get ready for the summer season this week. So plenty for them to talk about this upcoming week here whenever they do the episode. So, but all right, it's probably going to be a shorter show today because there's not the huge big news there was last week, but there's some follow-up from it and whatnot. But let's go ahead and get into it on the game side of things. You finished Death Stranding 2. Randy said he also finished Death Stranding 2. He told me you were going to hate the ending. Is this true?
Yeah, but not for the reason you might think. There's two really bad moments in it. The first is this dance sequence that is unforgivable.
Okay.
I kind of ignored that, or I'm trying to. The second is it's more fun. It's not bad necessarily, but it's just extremely underwhelming, and it's like this big, not even big, but it's like this fist fight between your guy and the Troy Baker character, and it feels so hackneyed and so underwhelming. It's impressive in a way, and it also feels like Kojima is desperately trying to reclaim the plaudits and how cool the Metal Gear Solid 4 one was with Solid and Liquid fighting on the top of the Metal Gear at the end. This ain't that. This decidedly is not that. It feels worse. It's not as memorable because you don't care about. You kind of care about Norman Reedus' character, but you don't care about the other one at all. And there's not, 3 or 4 other games backing this one up as far as history and mythology. And yeah, it sucks.
That's not great.
And the funny thing is the fight immediately before that one is also really not good because it's like, oh, you gotta, this is like the final push, and you gotta go rescue tomorrow. And it's like, okay, they strip you of all your weapons except for the stupid like guitar gun that Higgs has, the Troy Baker character, which
Right, the one they
sucks.
showed in the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you either like tap it to like shoot like little bullets, or you can like hold it down to like shoot like a bigger one. But the fight is so like boring and predictable. It's like, okay, he blocks all the small shots, so hit him with the big one. That'll stun him for like a few seconds, and you get a few small shots in, and do that about 20 more times, and
That
then it
sounds
ends.
awesome.
And it's like, okay, sure. Like, did he run out of money at this point? Or, I imagine something should have been cooler here, but it's like, oh, okay, we got to wrap this up. So let's just repeat this or reuse this, setting or this stage, and have this guy jumping around kind of, but not really. And I never felt like in danger, or it's not like, this is like some arduous boss fight. I pretty much just ran around trying to find him, stunned him, shot him, and then he would disappear, and then do that all over again. And it's like,
Yeah.
this is not hitting the way it's supposed to. I guess I don't know how the first game ended, like if it was like some big climactic boss fight or something, but yo, this sucks shit.
And he said he nailed why you wouldn't like it
Right.
and what you would focus on.
I mean, that's just like the gameplay deficiencies. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really trying to ignore like the stupid Charlie uncovering, and the stupid bullshit that happened with that. And I think I read on Wikipedia that like Kojima, like they beta tested this game or something like that, and people
Yeah,
liked it, and
there was
he was
too
like, "Oh
much
fuck you!"
enjoyment of the game, so he had to go and change some
Right?
things.
It's like, yeah, that's not A. That's not exactly a good reason to change a game, and then B, like it's what you changed is still bad, or like I don't know if this was like originally in the game or not, but it's still like, it's not like provocative or thought provoking or anything like that. It's just like, this is dumb, and
Right.
okay.
I think it's more about just he didn't want there to be too much gushing because he's worried about, okay, if everybody else is liking it, maybe there's something wrong that people aren't seeing. I can kind of get that point, I guess, but
No, it's
yeah.
bad. Because he likes to claim awards, or that's why he's at the goddamn Game Awards every year, is because him and Jeff Keighley are so buddy.
Well, that's true.
So I don't know. I think, like, also, if you're gonna make like a game to be divisive, it shouldn't cost whatever $100 million, or who the hell knows how much this thing cost. I don't think it was that much, but it's probably over 50. Like, this ain't some small game that he made in his garage. Like,
Right.
so yeah. Here's the thing. I actually still kind of like the game. Like, just driving around is fine, and I'm actually still playing it. I think I'll probably platinum the thing, assuming I can. The only really hard platinum trophy is like get every shelter to 5 stars, and some of them go up like glacially slow. But
Right.
other than that, it's fine.
Hey, at least you didn't hate play the game or whatever. You liked it for the most part. Just didn't stick the landing for you, I guess.
I have over 100 hours in the thing, so
damn, 100 hours. All right.
Like, I'm like, I think they don't really give you a good like number, well, to like compare to, but I think like my like Porter ranking is like 262 or something. That seems high. I don't know. I don't know if it goes up to like 300 or 900. Like, who knows? But
yeah.
The one funny thing, well, there's a lot of like weird inconsistencies in the thing, but like the funniest part is they have this character called Rainy, who, like, when they introduce her, she's like literally being chased by like villagers basically, because they think she's like some time witch, and then she's also pregnant, and it's like, who had sex with her, or like, they portray her as like, oh, everyone's afraid of her because it rains wherever she is, and that causes like the whole timefall nonsense. Right. It's like, okay, but who impregnated her?
I mean,
they don't get into
do
that
we
at
need
all.
to know? Like,
no, but if they're gonna have this character basically introduced as everyone's scared of her, and she has like no human connection at all, then it would help.
Okay.
So
I mean, sometimes weird things happen just because weird things. It is Kojima after all.
In this game, nothing weird ever happens.
Yes.
Right. The only other thing I've been playing is Red Dead Redemption 1.
She got pregnant for the timefall powers.
They don't say how she got her powers, and she didn't just like show up, or it's not like she just appeared one day. Like, she's obviously grown through this world. So whatever.
I mean, it is true. Kojima has a little bit of the sort of the anime syndrome thing of needing to over-explain.
I mean, they could just say nanomachines caused everything. That'd be good enough. His usual answer.
Right. But I mean, you're saying like an 8 out of 10?
Yeah, probably.
Game? Okay.
Like I said, the last hour or so really soured me. But other than that, it was fun. And it was also funny because like there's at least 2 chapters where you don't really do anything. It's just cutscenes.
Yeah.
One other thing I'll talk about in a second. But like, I think it's like chapter 15. They're like, okay, you have to basically drive across the continent, pick up this thing from this lab, and then drive to the other side of the continent. And it's like, okay. And I read up like a guide, and it was like, oh, you can either go up the mountains, go on the path, go across on the coast, or kind of do both at the same time. And it's like, I just took the road because my game, like, I pretty much already had the road system built out, so it was like no issue at all. I just it took me like 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay.
I was going to ask if it was something it took a long time, or
it takes about 10-20 minutes depending on how built up your road system is. But like where I am in the game, or even at that point, like I'd already built out the entire tram system, like monorail, and 80% of the roads, so it was like no problem at all. I'm just like, okay, I've done this half a dozen times since, or before and since, so it's no biggie. Just drive to this like one base that has the monorail, and that'll take me across like a quarter of the continent. Drive to the next base, and that takes me to basically where the lab is, and that's like, okay.
Yeah.
The one other thing I'll mention is Kojima really seems to hate psychiatry.
Why do you say that?
So, I don't know if he's like a secret Scientologist or what. Because like there's a psychiatrist in the game who's incredibly like unethical. I'm not going to get into like the spoilers of her story, but he doesn't seem to have respect for the genre or for the job.
I mean, but could that just be part of the whole story with that person and not necessarily he just hates psychiatry?
Because like the psychiatrist is having sex with her patients, so that seems a tad unethical.
I mean, it's not like that hasn't happened ever.
Right.
I'm just saying we've seen it happen. It's not out of the realm.
But it happens twice, so it's like, I guess you could kind of excuse the first time, but the second time it makes you seem like a monster.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and yeah, Red Dead Redemption's nice on PC.
Yeah, Randy gives interesting story information about why what you were talking about actually makes sense, but don't want to give spoilers to people who haven't played the game yet.
That's called denial, or that's called that's called trying to formulate this, or trying to make it
But he
work.
makes a point. They do explain it, like it's an explanation. You may not like the explanation, but it is explained.
Machines.
But all right.
How's Expedition 33 treating
you? I'm in Act 3. I'm trying to do all the side stuff. I did the Monoko side thing.
Let me ask you this: do you ever actually use that character?
Yeah, I use the character a lot. I love using them like the blue mage and getting the different things from the enemies. I found some really cool ones that work. Yeah, the feet.
Yeah.
So he's a cool character. I switch around the characters all the time. So I like using them, changing them around. Stop hating Marc's there. All right. Moving on from Death Stranding. I'm sure we'll probably get into some more hate talk or whatever when we get to talking about Superman at the end, maybe. But I haven't watched it, but you can still give your don't spoil too much thoughts there. But no, I ran into the thing that I've really enjoyed about this game again, like doing the Sacred River part. There's a gesture merchant that you have to be in order to get. He has like all these leveled up Pictos.
Right.
And also it's like you're pretty much going to have to like go do other stuff in the game to get the money that you need to get most of those Pictos anyway. But to actually get them, you have to beat him. You don't get to buy anything until you beat him.
Right.
And he has two like side minions that it took me forever to beat them because it was all three of them. And the two minions change constantly how they want to hit you. It's not like most of the enemies where they just do the same attacks over and over.
Right.
Literally, they'll just hit you with a different attack like every time. And I'm sitting there with Mael like trying to do this and just constantly, bro. I think I had to do it like 20 times. And finally, I beat it right before I'm getting picked up to go with the girlfriend for the day, and I'm just like, yes, finally freaking beat these guys I couldn't beat for like a whole hour. But I love that when you like feel like you learn the patterns well enough to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna get it this one time, and I finally got it. Got to unlock one of the Pictos, then I was like, geez, 70,000 for one of them? Good God. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to come back to this later. So then I have to go do the rest of that area. Then I'll probably go do the Mael one because I've heard that hers is like really cool. Before I get to the end, because that one apparently has like story things.
Yeah, they're two not side, but hidden bosses that are pretty story heavy.
Yeah, the Simon one that apparently has a lot of story stuff too. So
yeah, Simon, and then I think the other one is like Clair or something. I forget her name, but yeah,
the relative.
Yeah,
but try not to, if Randy's watching, try not to mention stuff because he's still got ways to go.
Right.
And then I don't know if I'm gonna beat the game before Friday, but I'm trying to beat the game before Friday so then I can just play Donkey Kong after that. But
how do you like flying around on
Yeah, that's fun. You get to actually like control him, so he's almost like an airship without being an airship, and it's
right.
I love how they did
funny,
that. That's great.
I was on like version 1.0 and like he was bugging out constantly where he just like froze. He was basically like T-posing in midair. And it's like, I'm sure he's supposed to like have some animation flying around, but he's just like stuck. But it was all right.
Yeah, it was pretty simple to control. I liked using it. Still got to go through. There's a lot It almost feels like a lot of that side stuff is really made for you to do it after
Oh
you
yeah.
finish the game too. So,
Well, I mean, like,
you know,
like you can't like once you finish the game, like that's it. But well, I mean, you do get New Game Plus, but like yeah, Act 3 is like really when the game opens up, like that whole
right?
vertical tower. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, like
Uh,
the endless tower thing.
yeah. Well, that. Well, there's also like the one arena where it's like 3 fights, but there's like 30 levels or something,
Oh,
or
that's
15.
yeah. That
But no,
sounds
there's
fun.
like this huge like dungeon where you have to just keep like going up and up and up, and it's like outside and it's really cool.
Awesome. I
Um,
can't wait to go do more stuff in that game.
yeah,
Just
and like I think it's really cool. Like like once you do start flying around, you kind of see how like I don't want to say like limited but small the world is, but it's incredibly focused. So that kind of is fine.
yeah, but I mean, it still feels big for what it is. Like it's not this like tiny thing. I mean, there's
Right?
plenty
No,
of
no.
different.
It's kind of like it's like the opposite of like original Final Fantasy VII, where it's like, oh, you think this is like this big open world, and
Right.
it's like, no, there's like 4 towns you can visit, and that's about it.
Yeah. It's all kind of like packed together in
Right,
certain areas, but yeah, I mean, you still got to try. It's like you're not having to travel these huge distances or whatever, but still, there's obviously it feels like you said, a lot
right.
smaller once you get to fly around with him or whatever. Whereas like when you're swimming, it really does feel like, oh my god, it takes forever for me to get to
Yeah,
one side and then to the other.
right. Yeah,
Um,
and then once you can fly, you can get across the world in like 15 seconds or
yeah,
something.
still haven't been able to beat that strong character.
Okay. Once you do, you get a really cool pick though called Cheat, uh,
Yeah.
which lets you do 2 turns.
Oh, I feel like I need that. That's why I keep trying to beat him, and it's like just not happening. I keep messing up on one of the parries, and then it screws over my team. I got
Right,
him down to like 3/4 health one time, and then I messed up on too many parries, and it just killed the team. And I was
right.
like, damn it. That's one of those that like it's anybody watching that hasn't like he's really strong, has a lot of health, and you have to like there's ways, especially once you get to you might as well not even bother until you get the Pictos that lets you
Yeah,
go
like
over the 999
right.
and even then it's still a lot of freaking health. You got to play with the Stendhal, still not
Yeah, it's
uh
still useful. So
yeah, so
I
it's
I I I one out of that guy.
yeah, no, it's she does a lot of damage with that move, but it's not anywhere near what it used to be or
Right,
whatnot. So, and my characters are like level 56. It's not like they're really low level, and it still feels like it's like not enough. So, I may have to mess around with the Picto arrangement or whatnot
right.
to see on that. But yeah, and still enjoying that. See if I can finish it for Friday, and still my game of the year so far. Good.
I gotta say, like the ending is like it's really cool, but it's not particularly like challenging.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's a lot of JRPGs. Also, you think that the
Right.
final boss is supposed to be some amazing boss fight, and it's not from a difficulty standpoint. It's more about the story while it's happening.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. I mean, that's the only game I've been playing here.
Yep.
So I guess we shall get into the news. Um, I guess we shall start with the bigger development with the Xbox stuff. After I want to say like the day after we did the episode, Jordan Midler was on the Friends Per Second podcast with Skillup, and of course Jordan Miller is from Video Games Chronicle. he was talking about that there's multiple Fallout projects in development. Of course, we know that the Fallout 3 remaster is pretty much happening. They've had people kind of just not confirm it, but confirm it,
Right.
And of course, we know Fallout 5 is somewhere in the ether.
Right.
And after that, we kind of have to guess on what's happening. I think they mentioned like a New Vegas 2 possibly with Josh Sawyer said he would be willing to work on Fallout again.
Yeah.
So what do you think about any Fallout game that you'd either like to see remastered or you want to see a sequel of, or
Fallout Shelter 2? Let's go.
The one game that you don't like?
No, I mean I do want to see I would like to see Fallout 3 remastered or kind of fixed. Because that game, even back then, had some issues with like navigation or getting around kind of sucked. And Fallout like is the big thing right now, where it's they're not making an Elder Scrolls TV show. Like,
yeah, at least for this year or whenever the season 2 is going to air, and then season 3.
They've kind of said that like season 2 is supposed to hit this year, like December.
Yeah,
which is honestly like kind of quick turnaround for a streaming show. Like,
yeah, with most shows have been it lasts like takes like 2 years for the.
Yeah, I read a funny thing that like between Stranger Things season 4 and season 5, The Bear has come out and had 4 seasons.
To be fair, like this final season of Stranger Things is like supposed to be like every episode is a movie, so I'm sure that takes a while.
It doesn't need like scale down, or like I don't.
No, but
I don't
that's the point. They don't want to because that's it. There's not going to be any more Stranger Things apparently. So,
I mean, given the reviews of the last season, that may not be a bad thing.
I agree. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like hit the high. I mean, that's a lot of shows. Like The Bear also had that problem where season 3 was just kind of like really slow, and season 4 was better.
Yeah,
I just finished watching it, yesterday. But still hadn't hit the heights of the first 2 seasons, which that seems to happen a lot with TV, the streaming shows. The longer they go, the
worse.
Not always, but just they can't hit those levels because it's much more difficult at that point.
Yeah, I mean, writers leave, audience goes away, budget shrinks. So yeah,
exactly. Hopefully not for Fallout.
I mean, I think in New Vegas 2, I think it'd be kind of dumb, especially since the TV show is gonna fuck that all up probably.
Yeah,
I would say go somewhere else. I mean, I assume Fallout 5 is going to be somewhere else, but
yeah, I mean, they could do like a sort of like a spinoff of one of them, the established ones, and
or hey,
do something there.
Pull a Capcom and start remaking the old ones.
Well, I mean, they're already doing the 3, but I think.
No, I meant like 1 and 2.
Well, that was a rumor for a while, and then Todd Howard shut that down.
Right.
They weren't doing that. So, yeah. Hey, I mean, that's cool that we're getting the remaster of 3. I imagine there's got to be something else besides just remaster of 3 and Fallout 5 that they don't want to like reveal quite yet. I think honestly at this point, the way that things have been going for them, I would not reveal it unless you know for sure it's coming, because you don't want to get
Fallout 77.
Yeah, you think so? You think they're gonna eventually go to?
I saw some stupid clickbaity article that like World of Warcraft 2 is due out any day now.
Oh yeah,
sure it is.
Yeah, I mean, they just canceled that one MMO. I can't imagine they're gonna shoot the golden goose to try to get
World of Warcraft
2 out there.
I don't know. I think Bethesda's kind of like a large company, a large developer, but they seem once they like hone in on a project, they seem to almost kind of go full force on it. Like I don't expect. I'm sure they're all working on Elder Scrolls 6 right now, and there's probably like
Right.
10
Yeah.
or 20 people working on Fallout 5 somewhere like in the basement or something, but it's not like
Yeah,
full
and
production or
whoever's
something.
doing the remaster of 3, they're
Right.
doing. I
Like
mean,
I don't think they're. I mean, they're not remastering 3. They just hand it out to someone else and say, "Hey, make this look better."
oh yeah, Virtuos is probably working on that.
Yeah.
Now that they, even though there's issues with the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remastered, so
Right.
yeah. Look, I think that's an interesting look at. Does this mean that they went with whatever these Fallout projects are instead of some of the other games that they canceled? I mean, they're kind of just going the route that a lot of people are, which is unfortunate. I hope this doesn't mean that this is what all of Xbox is going to be eventually. I don't want to see them Activision the entirety of all the studios. Because for me, like what I care about with Xbox is the smaller games. I like the fact that we have a South of Midnight and an Avowed and even a Hellblade 2, which I know is a franchise, but it was a smaller game. They just, added more cinematic stuff to it.
What happens when you get Fallout or Call of Duty cross Fallout, and that's just like a big crossover, or you can buy
Yeah,
buy the Pit Boy and Call of Duty, and you can wear it.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't tried to do that. Like,
they're too busy putting Beavis and Butthead in Call of Duty. They got important shit going on.
or put like the Doom guy in Call of Duty here.
Right.
That's one that I haven't or put Master Chief. And that's when we know we've gone to the break glass. We need to make money. Is you put Master Chief in,
and that's when you officially know Halo is dead.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you've had Kratos and Master Chief in Fortnite, so
Right.
I just think that like that when you're starting to cross your franchises like that, I think it's like that's when it goes like really just all right. We're going beyond there, but no, I do worry about that a little bit of just like okay, we're canceling. I mean, yeah, okay, you can explain Perfect Dark and Everwild; those weren't really going anywhere. But like that ZeniMax Online MMO, like really seemed like it was really well liked, and then we're canceling it because I guess they didn't feel like they could justify funding that thing until like 2027 or something.
Yeah.
For it to continue development, which sucks. And who knows? We don't even know if there was other things. I mean, that Romero Games thing, but there has been more about the whole Game Pass being profitable thing,
Right.
this week, and I think at this point, don't need to keep beating a dead horse, but I do think that the May 2025 best-selling games stuff kind of pretty much tells you that they're not going to move from this strategy because once again, just like the last month, they are owning things on the PlayStation Store with Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion Remaster, Forza Horizon 5, Minecraft, Call of Duty, all that stuff is selling over there. MLB The Show is also selling well, which is good for Sony. But I mean, when you're owning like the top, 5 out of 8 or so spots, I mean that's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, let's just go back to what we were doing.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword though because they're putting the good Xbox games on there. They're not putting on Starfield or Redfall.
Well, okay, Redfall's
And
not going. I mean, that's not Redfall's not going to get ported over. That game is done. pretty much
It'd
like
be
that.
funny if it did, though, and if something became like a big system seller.
I wouldn't be surprised if Starfield makes it. They've been making too many rumors about Starfield to PS5 for that thing not to come over at some point. I don't really know what they're waiting on.
I mean, I think they've already kind of said that DLC's done, or like that didn't.
Yeah,
after that
last
so.
after the one DLC they made didn't hit very well, which also like proved to be like it wasn't really a DLC. It was more like they cut a piece of content and just said, okay, we're just going to make this bigger, and most people didn't like it. Elden Ring Night Ring wound up being number one, which a lot of people were wondering if it was going to sell well, and it did. And also Doom: The Dark Ages was number two, and that's mostly on PC and PS5 sales. And I think people were very concerned about, is everybody paying on Game Pass and they're not buying it? And it turns out that they were buying it. It's number 16 for the entire year. Forza Horizon 5 is number 12 for the entire year, which is crazy. That is an old game that just off of PS5 sells.
It's an old game, but it's a really great game. And then also it's filling a niche on, PS5 that other games aren't hitting. Like, it's not like that test drive game, is good. Or
there's no Need for Speed.
Yeah, Need for Speed's terrible. I think they're like shutting that down pretty much. Gran Turismo 7 is good, from what I've heard, but it's not. That's like the simulation part.
That's not like the motorsport.
Right.
So
it's not. I mean, that's really not surprising for Forza, because that's a pretty venerable franchise that, I think is overall good. So.
Yeah, but also they're selling it at full price, which helps. People are they're buying that thing, and it's.
I really want Microsoft Flight Simulator to hit PS5.
I wonder if they'll do that or not. Like, is there an audience for that on PlayStation?
Again, it'd be funny if it was like somehow big system seller.
Yeah, I always see that as a novelty every time they throw that out there. It's like, okay, I know it's just like the strategy games that I think is cool that Microsoft, loves to promote that niche. But
you're wrong partially, because like the systems or the strategy games are the niche, but like Flight Simulator does like shockingly well in like the specific areas it wants to hit.
Well, and also it's always been a PC game,
right?
Well, so I mean, it'd be interesting to see if it does well, but that seems like a big task to bring it over to PlayStation, and you don't know if it's gonna do well or not. It's but again, like, look, you're on in the top 7 for the month of May. You're in number 2, 3, 4, 7, and 5 and 7. And
it makes you wonder. They should maybe ask the question, why do we need a hardware business anymore?
I mean, I think a lot of people ask that question, but like, we'll see if they do make that transition to PC and they can feel a need that they feel like only they can do, then and continue to kind of just disrupt by being the major aggregator, then I guess whatever. But I mean, Helldivers is still there at 16, so that's good for Sony and MLB The Show as well. And Assassin's Creed Shadow still hanging in there. That's still doing well. Good for Ubisoft. They have not much else going on. So
yeah, it's weird that I mean, I guess it started to constrict a little last generation, but like this generation cycle has been like abysmal for Ubisoft. And you can.
I mean, they just keep getting negative.
Right, but like I said, when it launched, like they didn't have their usual 8 games for the Switch 2, so you knew that was.
Yeah, it's like I think there's a release window for Star Wars Outlaws on Switch 2, but that's kind of it.
And I think they're going to port over Shadows at some point, but
I'm sure that'll be next year.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. But definitely, Microsoft so far is correct in doing this move over to PlayStation. So, will Xbox return the favor with Helldivers 2? We'll have to see. It'd be very interesting to see if it sells well. If Sony makes any kind of considerations about any older games, like, hey, I think I talked about it last week. Like, just why not? Star Wars is about to come out. Why not give them Returnal? See what happens. Uh, or would they consider anything else? Would they consider like, oh, we've announced Spider-Man 3. Here's Spider-Man 1 on Xbox.
No.
You know that will sell if you put it on there.
Hey, Xbox has Crackdown 3. They got all they need.
Right. Yeah, well, we'll just see. It's like, it's one of those things that obviously, I guess it just kind of depends on like what we were talking about. If they consider Xbox a way to make money and not actual competition,
right?
Then if they don't see a threat of people actually deciding to, because it's not like your ecosystems are going to go over to Xbox, right? So like if you don't buy a PS6, it's not like all of a sudden all your games are going to work on. You had to have bought them on PC for them to work, right? They're not going to make them work from your PS5 to PC to then the Xbox. So I don't think that's one thing. If Xbox goes that route where everything it is a PC or whatnot, yeah, it kind of affects them if you put your games on PC, which Sony at any point can just say, okay, well, we're just not gonna put anything else on PC for a long while Microsoft has this strategy,
right.
And it doesn't really affect them otherwise. So, but now that Astrobot is filling all the holes that they with characters that they didn't with the original game, I wonder if they play nice enough if Xbox will ever like, hey, this is a celebration of all of gaming, right? So why not have Xbox characters? Have Marcus and Master Chief and Astrobot.
Right.
We go that far, They really need to go make sure they make all the money. So make the deal with Sony for that too. But speaking of Sony here, they did have that Ghost of Yotei State of Play. I just finished watching it before we did the show. I thought it was really good. I love that Watanabe mode where you're essentially, getting to have lo-fi beats while you're walking around doing your thing. What did you watch any of it, and are you interested?
I mean, I'm still interested in the game. I kind of didn't like that mode just because it seemed like a gimmick, or it just seemed dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, why not just put a big afro on her and call it the Afro Samurai mode?
Yeah, you could do that.
But I like the first one a decent amount, and I'll probably like this one if I can play it. So sure.
Yeah, I like the mode where they're gonna put the camera closer for the fights too. That was interesting. Right. I do like that they apparently are making it more kind of freedom, giving you freedom to explore as well. They're not going to make it more about like, okay, here's all the stuff on the map and kind of letting you do what you want to do, that kind of thing.
Right.
Lots of talk about it's too much like Ghost of Tsushima. That they should have done more to make it different. Like, why couldn't they have just given us more with Jin? Any thought on that? Like, are we focusing too much on sequels need to innovate instead of like what's wrong with it just being more of what you like from the first game?
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be in a different time period. Like, it's not like 2 years later or something. Like, it's like 100 years later or something like that. Or so it's like you can't exactly have him back. Also, his story is kind of done. Like,
yeah,
gonna have some other Mongols or whatever invading, and they kill the mom you didn't know, and so, whatever. So That's dumb. And most sequels don't iterate a ton, unless they're really trying to, break the mold. But like the people that would say this, I got a feeling like they didn't say the same thing about, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. And if I put a screenshot of those games like I get to you and say pick which one is which, you wouldn't have a fucking clue. And
No, I
I
probably
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
And unless it's like a specific area, probably Jens wouldn't. So yeah, most sequels don't iterate a ton these days.
Yeah, I think that it's, to me, you're focusing on the wrong thing here. Like I feel like, they are showing you why you should get this game and play this game. They are trying to show you the new parts, the newer parts of it. And it feels like you're just trying to find things to complain about,
right?
Instead of,
yeah, I've
yeah.
seen the other side where people are complaining. Well, not about this one, but people are complaining that she's not hot enough. And I'm like,
Oh well,
really?
that's
Like,
just the people being assholes,
right,
or the whole, they could have done this on PS4 thing, where it's like, that's the deal, is that, like, I think a lot of this you're not going to really see what's even better about it than Ghost of Tsushima until you play it on PS5 Pro, I think.
right.
And there's always that part of, like, you got to remember these trailers are like on compressed video
Yeah,
most of the time. You're not
YouTube
seeing what
sucks.
they're going to
Or
look like
right,
on your TV. And I know they'll probably do the 4K version of the trailer later or whatnot, and maybe we'll see a better version of it. But it's just
yeah,
like, people just make too much about, oh man, this isn't really next gen and all this stuff, and it's like, guys, it's just getting to the point where it's diminishing returns. Like, we're not gonna get that giant leap anymore.
right,
Look at Switch 2, man. It really is just, man, my games run better. And they look better. They look great. I think Mario Kart World looks great. But even Donkey Kong Bonanza was done first on Switch 1, then they realized that they couldn't do a lot of the stuff they wanted to do with it. So they put it on Switch 2, very much like Mario Kart World. So it's
right.
like, look, this is a PS5 game. Maybe it's not knocking you out of the park or whatever, but unfortunately, that's just kind of how things are. It's
Right.
This is where we're at with graphics. Its graphics are just too good now, and there's not really a way for them to, like, give you that PS3 to PS4 leap kind of thing.
If you want that, stop playing games for 20 years, and then come back.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you play games on PC, you're never going to see that, because you're
Right.
constantly seeing what
Like,
games can be.
imagine if you hadn't played games for 20 years and the last game you played was like Dead Rising 1 or, Cameo. And then you started playing Astrobot and, the latest Call of Duty or something. You'd be like blown away.
And just the load times alone of, like,
Yeah.
not having to sit there and wait for the load screen, and then all of a sudden, oh bam, you're right there again. Like, that in itself is just awesome. And think about it, if you haven't played games since then, and then you put that in with the way the graphics look now, it's like, wow, it's just like way too real. It's the realism is insane. I just don't know how much more realistic people want. Uh,
Except for Final Fantasy 13, we can all agree that that's aged perfectly. And looks as good then as it does now.
It's just like, they showed, I think, like, what Shea Gilgeous-Alexander looks like on NBA 2K26 or whatever, because he's one of the cover athletes, and I'm just like, okay, you could tell it looks better, but it's just like, what are y'all complaining about? It's like,
right. Well, they
what
complain
more
because
do you want them to do with it?
they complain because the old standard of Triple H's hair can no longer be the testing method. So
yeah, that too. Right. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Ghost of Yotei as well. So it looks like October 2nd, going to be ready for that game. You like the PS5 that they brought out with it?
not really. And, I want them to just make a transparent one. That's what I want.
I do agree. That would be cool. That's the kind of the issue I have with both of the Series X is even worse because it's like a like almost like a cloth that goes over it or whatever, and or like a little cover. And then I know the PS5 is kind of the same thing except they're those plates,
right?
So it doesn't feel as special as they used to.
Yeah,
but that's the way they decided to make these consoles. Unfortunately,
here's a better question: have you ever bought like a variation console?
No, I bought the controllers, but not the console.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think the last variation console. I'm not talking like the weird debug crap I buy, but was the black Sega Dreamcast, the sports one.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like I didn't buy it new. I just bought it used because I was like, oh, this looks neat. But
the only one of those I had was I had the Atomic Purple. I had the green, the light green Game Boy Color, and then I wanted the Atomic Purple Game Boy Color. And that's the only times I've ever had two versions of the same thing.
Right.
Just because of what it looks like or whatnot. It's just, it's not like these consoles are cheap for you to just go buy because now it has a Gears of War thing on it or whatever.
Right,
if that's the version of the console you're buying, then
or unless you're or like the PlayStation or the anniversary console.
Yeah, like the anniversary, like that's special, right? Because they're not going to come out with another version of that.
Right.
So, all right. Moving from that to Nintendo here. I'm sorry, I forgot that I said that Nintendo had multiple movie projects in the works as part of the intro last week, and then I realized we didn't talk about it. But thankfully, there's reports that Universal and Nintendo are teaming up for a Donkey Kong movie as one of the. I guess though that's one of the projects that are in the works, which is not surprising. Miyamoto has really made it a point about Donkey Kong is that the character they're promoting, between the addition to Super Nintendo Land, the game, Bonanza. They had the remaster of what was the one that came out? Donkey Kong Country Returns at the beginning of this year. They've really gone all in on Donkey Kong, the redesigned Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. So not surprising, right? I mean, what do you would you be excited to see a Donkey Kong movie like with all the other Kongs?
I mean, do they get Seth Rogen back?
Oh no! I mean, that's the voice of Donkey Kong now, right? Like,
yeah, I'm sure he'll be in the game.
It's well, yeah, Seth maybe not the game, but for the movies, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think I mean they can say what they want, but I always thought Donkey Kong was more B tier character.
Yeah.
But hey, why not?
I mean, when you have Mario and Link, and even Zelda to an extent, it's like, what can you do there? And all the characters are going to kind of seem like B tier at that
Easy.
point.
You have other characters like Samus and Star Fox that they don't do shit with most of the time.
I think they I still feel like we're leading into like they're trying to make this a Mario universe thing. And I don't blame them in a way. Like,
I'm only in favor of that if they bring back Captain N.
Captain
N, the Game Master. You don't remember that old kitty cartoon?
That's gonna be the lead up. We're doing not
Super. That'll be the linchpin.
Captain N.
Yeah. But like, I mean, Donkey Kong's fine, but I think that like it's not a ton of meat on that bone. Let's just say that. Even compared to other, Nintendo franchises, because every damn Donkey Kong game is the same, except for the latest one apparently.
Yeah, except for this one and the 64.
I'm still No, 64 is still the same. It just had more characters. It's, there's still K. Cruel as like the bad guy, and I'm 100% convinced he'll be the bad guy in this one also.
Well, it seems like those 3 characters that they showed in the trailer.
Exactly, but they'll either be shown as like robots created by K. Cruel, or they'll be like under his thumb, or they'll be like his minions. But at the end of the day, it'll be K. Cruel.
Fair enough.
But like, you know what? Like Nintendo franchise, I think would actually be a good movie. Would be Earthbound. Like, imagine
I feel like you'd have to translate Mother 3 if you're gonna.
Fine.
Yeah, like,
do it. Like, they can't like hide behind the it costs too much bullshit excuse anymore. Like, A, it's been done by fans, and then B, like, just do it yourself. It's not like Tolstoy. It's not like some 1,000-page tome that But imagine like a not shitty version of that ELO movie.
Oh God, I gotta take a shot at the ELO movie.
Well, it's the same kind of premise, kids, aliens and kids, and
right, yeah.
So,
I mean, that'd be cool if they get that far into the Nintendo universe, so we can get an Earthbound movie. I'd be so happy about that. Or a Kid Icarus movie, or whatever. We'll see if we get a Kirby movie at all. But
just have Punch Out and have Little Mac voiced by Sylvester Stallone.
Oh man, yes, let's do that. I feel like we got to have a Samus movie. Like, you got to have a Metroid at some point. Like, don't know, maybe that's better as a series or whatever, but I feel like I got Metroid Prime 4 coming.
Right.
Give it its moment.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if Zelda also gets her own movie, maybe.
I would.
If like the first Legend of Zelda movie does well, maybe they give Zelda a bigger part in the second one or something.
And she gets a wand called Gamelon.
But there's I mean, that's the thing with these Nintendo projects is like, is this all leading up to doing a Smash Brothers thing? Is this all like, or is they doing kind of one thing at a time? Because Nintendo's already said like they will be heavily involved anytime there is a Nintendo movie being made. So,
I would actually, I actually wouldn't mind it if some of these were like real life.
Well, that's the Zelda one is live action, right?
Well, hopefully.
Yeah, it's not animated, so Donkey Kong makes sense to be animated. Like, that's
like the 3 I'd like to see like be like live action is Zelda, Metroid, and then Star Fox.
Star Fox could work either way, I feel like.
Yeah, but Star Fox can really bring in that furry community. So
yeah, well, that's gonna be your take on Sonic. Let's do the Star Fox.
Right.
Kirby has to be animated, I feel like. I don't know if you could do live action Kirby.
Remember that weird Kirby cartoon like 20 years ago? Where it was like Kirby on Earth? It was like super weird.
I only know the Right Back At You show. I have no idea about.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Wasn't he on Earth?
Yes, he is. He's on Earth in that.
Yeah, I remember some like little kid. Yeah. Like they always like have these goddamn cartoons with like little kids showing up, like Sonic X. It's like, why are they on Earth, and why is he hanging out at this like rich kid's mansion?
Because they have to. That's the way of making it relatable. They gotta do that. Is there like an off the wall like character, or one that like you don't think they would make it, but it'd be awesome if they did make a movie
Captain
about
Owen.
that?
No, I don't. No, because like most of the obscure Nintendo characters, they really have de-emphasized.
Yeah, I feel like with all the F1 movie and all that other like these plethora of car movies like Gran Turismo, you would think that like F-Zero getting a movie wouldn't be too far fetched, but considering how they don't want to make a new game in that.
Yeah,
Unless
they
you
just
count
replaced.
F-Zero 99, but
They just re-release that speed racing movie with Captain Falcon in it instead.
yeah, you could do that too. But yeah, I mean, we know there's a Donkey Kong movie coming, most likely.
Yeah.
I already mentioned that it looks like Donkey Kong Bonanza development started on Switch 1, but because of all the voxel graphics and all the other stuff, they had to move it to Switch 2.
People complain about like technically or technological impasses, or graphics not expanding fast enough. It's like that's what you get nowadays. Is it was on one console and they moved to a different one. I mean, hell, Final Fantasy VII was originally supposed to be an N64 game, and then they're like, nope.
Yeah, I said no, we're not gonna do that. I mean, that's also just the iterations of the consoles now. It's like it's a
right.
smaller iteration, so of course there's going to be games that they started trying to make on the system that had the biggest install base, and they said, you know what's not going to work. We're just going to have to put it on the next one. They just happen to make. Let's see how much better Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon ZA look on Switch 2. Like, I'm sure the difference will be noticeable. It'll be huge. How much better they're going to run and how much better the graphics look. It's not going to be like, oh my God, out of this world. I should, I'm sure it'll be playable on Switch 1, but I'm sure you're going to run into a lot of the same hiccups you didn't like on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on Switch 1. So,
right.
I
found it at 15 frames a second.
Yeah, and this game's actually a Switch game, so like you won't be able to get the magic I feel like that you got with Metroid Prime 4 or Metroid Prime 1 remaster. And what's going on with the 2 and 3 remasters? Are those just not going to happen? Like, are those just in a vault somewhere that Nintendo's like, I don't know. It's weird that they wouldn't have tried to release those before 4, but all right. I guess it doesn't matter particularly. I thought that
right.
Doesn't the story all kind of correlate, or it doesn't?
I assume, but I never played any of those games. So
yeah, like I think there's a lot of people were making a big deal about that too, and it's just like this is just the way it is. Unfortunately, it's like the movement from console to console is not going to be. It's going to be a big event still. People are going to go and buy them,
right?
But you're not. I'm kind of like Marc, honestly. I had my like week with the Switch. I got to get Anaya to play Mario Kart with me and all that stuff, but like I really haven't been playing it too much. Maybe I need Donkey Kong to get me to it be that game that finally gets me like, oh, okay, I'm going to the Switch 2 every day and playing it and whatnot. But yeah,
I haven't had my week with it yet. It's still in the damn box.
Yeah, you still in the box. Well, now you're done with games that you need to play. Right now, you can go and.
Hey, forget about Red Dead.
Oh, okay, there you go. You
and I'm still, like I said, I'm still working on stupid Death Stranding nonsense or trophies. But yeah,
are you gonna get Donkey Kong, or you just?
If it reviews well, maybe. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure the embargo is probably, if not
tomorrow,
it's like this Wednesday. I'm sure. There's rumors of a Nintendo Direct happening.
Right.
Some point after the game releases, so within the next 2 weeks. Which makes sense. I think we know what's coming. We don't even have dates. We don't even have a release date for Metroid Prime 4. So like they kind of need to do one. Just also I think like investors kind of want to know what's happening with the Switch 2 going forward. So I mean, yeah, it'd be cool if we do have one, hopefully. And also Nintendo continues to, even though I don't know how much Nintendo, I'm sure that they brought this up in court, and this is why the FBI had to go and shut it down. But another win for Nintendo legally, as a Nintendo's Switch like pirate website was taken down by the FBI.
Right.
You know, I'm sure there are many others that exist. I have no idea where they are, nor do I care. But for those people that do, I'm sure you do.
Right.
It is what it is.
I mean, yeah, it's like strike one down, 5 more will spring up in its place. So,
yeah, and I will not be surprised at all if at some point in the next couple of years we get we figured out how to hack the Switch 2.
Right.
As much as it
involves another paperclip
in that conversation, but it's inevitable. It feels like that's just it unfortunately keeps happening to Nintendo, and they're gonna fight it and all that stuff, but not gonna be able to knock everybody down.
Right. I don't know. I would generally say piracy of the current system is wrong, but I still think like it'd be nice if the system was still open for other shit.
It's like the slippery slope of when you open it for other stuff. Like, how do you stop people from just pirating the games then? And that's the problem. Is like if people actually used it for what it was supposed to do, the problem is like that's like a very small percentage of the people that are doing it for the backups. Most people are doing it to just pirate the game.
Right.
I
mean, that was the old argument when PlayStation 3 like dropped other OS support, and then people got pissed and then started hacking it, and that's what caused it to implode.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo also doesn't help themselves when they kill the voucher program thing too, things like that are kind of like consumer friendly.
Right.
Obviously, I understand why they killed it for Switch 1, but like, why couldn't you just introduce that for Switch 2 and just say, hey, it's continuing? We're just
the games are more now.
It's like, I mean, at least try to act like you care, that you want people to look. I get it. People still buy your games regardless. Like, everybody comes in here and complains about the price of something, and they go and still buy the damn game. So we'll see when Donkey Kong actually comes out how big of a sales it has and everything. Now that we're out of because I mean, we saw it with not that there was this amazing lineup of games or anything, but we saw it. Like, it wasn't like you had a bunch of people go and buy every Switch 2 launch game.
Right.
So, let's see if Donkey Kong is the system seller and the needle mover that they want it to be.
Yeah.
Lastly, there's an update with Subnautica 2. That basically essentially like right after we did the show, it felt like the next day there was this news, because we kind of talked about it, but it's like, oh, are they just leaving because they feel like the game is done and they don't need to be there any longer. And you find out that actually part of the reason why they're leaving is because Krafton is essentially stiffing them on a $250 million bonus, which that is not any kind of chump change. I'd love to have $250 million in a bonus as well, so I can kind of understand why the leads on the team kind of feel like Krafton is just screwing them over. And in fact, they went and delayed the game to 2026 to essentially avoid having to give out this money. Krafton basically, put out a statement saying that they just don't believe that the game is ready, which is, if you ask
that's why they call it early access, not version 1.0. Like,
yeah, they're saying that essentially the absence of the core leadership has resulted in repeated confusion in direction and significant delays. The current early access version also falls short in terms of content volume. We're deeply disappointed by the former leadership's conduct, and above all, we are profound sense of betrayal by their failure to honor the trust placed in them by our fans. Suing a multi-billion-dollar company in a painful, public, and possibly protracted way was certainly not on my bucket list. said the one of the leaders that left. This turned really ugly really fast. Not great. Not a great look for Crafton, honestly, after they got a lot of goodwill for saving why can't I think of the name right now? The Hi-Fi Rush studio.
Right.
And then you go and turn around and do
Tango.
something like this. Yeah, Tango. And it's just like, all right, you're kind of telling people that, oh, we're just saying it's not ready so that we don't have to pay them the money that they kind of deserve. That's kind of shitty. It's like when, your boss decides just to not give you your yearly bonus or whatever, right, because, they end up wanting it for themselves or whatnot.
Here's the thing. I probably actually would partially agree with Crafton. Like, the game might not be early access ready. I mean, who knows? But when has it ever stopped a company, anyone before? Like,
yeah, that's what like kind of leads credence to this, is like nobody cared about releasing a half-finished game really before,
right?
Especially in early access, when it's like, you're paying for this to be like not finished, right?
Yeah.
So
and yeah, 250 million, that's like, yeah, like you said, it's not small potatoes. Like, it's like, it ain't their full amount, but it's just like their significant amount of their money.
And that goes to the dev team as well. It's not just the leadership. It's that's the whole team that's being affected here. And those are people that are making significantly probably less than that triumvirate of leadership. So yeah, I feel bad for them.
Right. I mean, it'd be funny. Like, I mean, they wouldn't do this because this would probably be argued for years. But like, if they took it to like just 10, people who, or 10 people who worked on games or were like game fans, and had said, like, had them review the game like in its current state and say, what do you think? They said, no, there's not enough here, or they just said like, hey, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there is oh my god, I can't think of the term, but it's like the early reviewing that happens while the game is in development. Yeah, the mock reviews. I'm sure there was, and I'm sure it's probably like, oh, Crafton has their own mock reviewers that they brought in that are saying that.
Right.
And, just to kind of be able to be like, hey, well, we have evidence on our end that says it's not ready. And it's like, that's BS. But
yeah, it's like, okay, but do you really trust your own mock reviewers? Because there's a $250 million incentive for them to say, nope.
Exactly. For you not to, that's not great, honestly.
Yeah.
But all right,
I
think that's,
I don't know. I kind of hope the game, does come out. It'd be funny if it came out like the last week of December or something.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Like, well, I mean, Crafton ultimately decides.
Yeah, but it'd be funny if like, the actual developers just put it up on like Steam. Like, here you go.
Yeah, like, hey, we put it up. It's out there. Somebody bought it. And it's like, okay, you got to give us our money now. It's like, well,
right.
Yeah. But we'll see if it does if they resolve this issue and it does want it coming out or not. And hopefully it does, because there's a lot of people love Subnautica 1. So hopefully get more of that.
Yep.
But all right. That's going to be it for the episode today. I guess the only thing left to finish it on is what's coming out this week. Destiny 2, The Edge of Fate, the next Destiny 2 expansion is literally out now or tomorrow, whenever you're watching or listening to this. Yeah, that's cool for Destiny 2 people. Your game is still
you people still exist.
Dungeons and Dragons Neverwinter Nights 2, the remaster thing. It's coming to everything. Also on the 15th, Eden Zero is coming, which is like the anime game that has a demo out you can play if you want. It's actually pretty decent, so I would give it a whirl. Another game that got a lot of praise because it has a lot of cinematic elements, but it's like a isometric stealth game. Also, Eric's Home: The Stolen Dream comes out on the 15th as well. Ready or Not's finally coming to console on the 15th too. Of course, Donkey Kong Bonanza out on the 17th. I talked about already. That's the big game for this week that I'm sure people are ready. You got the RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business expansion or whatever that is.
I would like to think that's good, but probably not.
I'm sure it can't be. It's of the same quality of the original game.
Yeah, my point stands. Like a great idea, but let's just say it's a little shoddy execution.
Right. It wasn't especially on some consoles, it wasn't the greatest for sure. Neon Abyss 2 comes out into early access. Also on the 17th, the Drifter, which is the next like point and click kind of heralded indie, comes out on the 17th as well for PC and mobile. Lots of indie stuff this week, and then Shadow Labyrinth, the Evil Pac-Man game, comes out on the 18th for everything.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by that Evil Pac-Man. I want to see what the reviews are. Are you interested in it at all, or
maybe? I mean, if it has decent reviews, might give it a shot. Yeah. But
hopefully, it's good.
Yeah.
Don't let's give Pac-Man a new lease on life. But all right, that's it for this week. Thank you everybody for watching, listening. We do appreciate you.
Oh, did you see that Twisted Metal Season 2 trailer?
I have not. I heard it's interesting.
It's more game, friendly, or
yeah,
it seems to be more based in the game, which is good, I guess.
That's coming out the end of this month, so
right.
You're excited. Go check it out. Oh, any thoughts on Superman before we?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, better than the last, 3 Superman movies, 4, whatever.
Yeah.
4 or 5, whatever. All Jens cares about the soundtrack, so he doesn't like the soundtrack that he's heard outside of the movie, so he'll refuse to see the movie now.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The movie's too stuffed. Like, it's overly stuffed with like characters and certain plot elements. It's still good. David Cornsweet is a really good Superman. Rachel, I'm not gonna try to pronounce her last name, was decent. She was a little underwritten, I thought, at points. Like, my biggest problem with the movie is like they don't spend a ton of time in the Daily Planet. They got like 2 scenes there, and that's about it. And that's not great. Like, I wanted to have more, or it felt like the movie's like only like 2 hours long, and I think this could have been padded out a little longer, or had more interconnected stuff, But yeah, I liked it. It'll be a good foundation to build on, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you think it's a good like kind of setter for the rest of what they want to do with?
Yeah, the only weird thing will be how they do Batman. If and when they do, because like this is very cartoony. It's like or like Silver Age. Will they have them be like the grim, dark version that Nolan tried? I mean, not Nolan. Snyder tried to do, or will it be a little more realistic or less or whatever? But,
yeah, I mean, the last time I heard like Batman 2 wasn't going well. It's like,
yeah, they just like finished a script like 3 weeks ago, and it's like, yo, it's been a while. Like, what were you doing?
Yeah, there was a bunch of like it's in trouble. Are they going to cancel it? And
that's still like not even like part of this universe. I think that's like a separate.
Yeah, it's his own separate thing. So they're going to have another Batman that they're then going to have brought in just for this. Like that seems kind of
bad.
I don't know, annoying. Like the whole point is to have one for every thing, not have like, oh, we're gonna have 2 different Batmans around. Like
and I guess I also saw like we talked about it a few weeks ago, but I guess Alan Richardson isn't going to be Guile in that movie, that Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
Now they're saying it's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I saw.
Which no. First off, I don't want half the Street Fighter characters to have a bunch of dumbass tattoos. You know.
I mean, they can cover those up. I mean,
and then again, like we were talking about a few weeks ago, what is it going to be like? Headlining WrestleMania, Guile versus Akuma. You know.
You know, I could see him doing it.
I'll only be in favor of that if Cody Rhodes makes you learn to do a flash kick.
Yeah. I wonder what who's in WWE's pockets that we have both Roman and Cody Rhodes getting spots here. Like did somebody sign a deal to like, oh, this is another way to promote them? Here we go.
Here's a better question. Do you think they cast I think her name now is Blake Monroe, but Mariah May. Do you think she's gonna be Cammy?
Okay. No, but you know,
she can.
We'll see.
Pull it off. I mean, hey, at least she's British.
Yeah. You know, I'm always kind of like, I'm not gonna hate on the casting until I actually see them doing the role, because it happens a lot where we overdo it on, oh man, this guy shouldn't have been this character, and then it comes out and they actually do really well. So
yeah,
I'm trusting that like the people that are doing the casting know what they're doing. So
hopefully.
But all right.
Hopefully there's not all in like TKO's pocket.
Yeah. But all right, we'll see what happens next week. Definitely, I will have thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yep.
And then we'll see whatever else happens between now and the next Monday. So until then, everyone, see you later.
Later.